Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is that time of the week again. Me and Ellie decided today we're both going to work on our Heaven and Earth design diamond paintings. She's still setting up. She seems to have taken about half an hour to get herself sorted. Anyway, hope you guys have had an awesome week so far. As it's been okay. I spent most of the afternoon yesterday umming and ahhing what I was going to do. Right. When it comes to my crocheting the Grafgans, I am usually a pretty good judge on whether the wool I have will be enough to complete the project I'm using it for. You know, even Kelly says I'm a pretty good judge when I look at something. Not this time. I showed you last week the Winnie the Pooh blanket. I carried on with it after the video, obviously. And I thought I had more wool than I did, and I don't have enough to finish Winnie the Pooh's head and his arms. To make the dilemma worse, the ball of wool I used is one that my sister bought when she wanted me to do the Harry Potter blanket for my niece. It was used as a background colour. Now, I know where she bought it from, but I don't have the ball band, so I don't know what brand it is, and I don't know what shade it is. Now, the said shop she bought it from, I've been there a few times, me and Kelly, and we've just been in heaven looking around the shop. They have thousands of balls of wool. That's what they do. So it would be, if I took a sample of the wool with me, it would be like looking for a needle in a haystack, trying to find the right brand, the right colour. She sells hundreds of brands in hundreds of colours. So I just sat on the settee yesterday afternoon and I stared at the blanket that's sitting on the clothes area, and I stared and I stared, and Ellie's like, you need to make a decision. It's no good just sitting there staring at it. The decisions, well, the options should I say, were either rip it out as far as, you know, the bottom where the yellow started, or just start another one and rip it out at a later time. I think it took me nearly an hour to make a decision on that one. Purely because I just hate ripping things out. You spent so much time, so much energy on them that it grieves you, doesn't it? Well, in the end, I just walked over to it with a pair of scissors and I cut off all the bobbins. I folded it up, put it away, and I started again. I will rip out the old one. I don't know when. I will, but I just don't know when. The bonus, I suppose, was the fact that most of my blankets are done in Tunisian stitch, or Tunisian, however you say it. And anyone who knows crochet knows that if you work in Tunisian stitch, it's all worked in the front of the fabric. You never have to turn, so it curls like, oh my, yeah, it's annoying. So the first few rows are quite hard to work because it curls. Well, after I cut off the other one, I went on YouTube and I happened to have a look, so I remembered seeing a video ages ago about how to stop the curl on a Tunisian blanket. So, I looked it up, and a lot of the people said use a bigger hook size. Well, I'm already doing that. I think I'm on a 6.5. Normally my comfort zone is like 4.5 millimeters. So I upped it to 6.5 meters a while back. So that hasn't helped too much. It reduced it a little, but not enough for me. And a lot of them said, well, just block it when you're finished. But I was hoping to be able to eliminate the curl as I started. So I went through a few videos on YouTube. And what this one lady said, do 2 rows of Tunisian pearl stitch first, and then do the regular Tunisian simple stitch. Do you know what? I'm kind of glad I restarted. I'm sorry, my windows are open. It's so warm. It's cloudy, right? Get this. It's cloudy and it's grey, but it is so warm. So my windows are wide open. And I've explained before, we live like literally 2 minutes down the road from an ambulance station. So we spend some days sitting here counting how many we hear in the daytime. And like, as this coronavirus has got worse and worse over the last few weeks, they are so regular. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. So I did 2 rows of pearl stitch, and then I carried on in regular Tunisian simple stitch, and it has worked. My work has not curled, so I'm getting to enjoy not having to try and fiddle and hold it open while working my stitches. Ellie was like, wow, thank you very much, because she started one and it's curling. But like I said to her, the problem with her is that she hasn't figured yet her tension. She's still struggling with holding the working yarn and trying to keep it as loose as possible. So I've tried teaching her the way I hold my yarn and hook, and it's not working for her. So I messaged Kelly and asked her ever so nicely. She reminded me, actually, she sent me a picture showing me that she'd got the blanket back out that she was working on. So I just messaged her, can you do me a huge favour? She was like, okay. I said, can you video the way you do your blankets and how you hold your wool and whatever, because Ellie's having trouble doing it my way and her tension is extremely, and I mean extremely tight. She actually reminds me of myself. I was her age, I think, when my mum tried to teach me to knit, and my tension was just shocking. Even I struggled to get my needles through the stitches. And when I was sort of shaking my head at Ellie, not in anger, just in disbelief, it reminded me of the way my mum looked at me when she couldn't get the needles through the stitches either. She's like, you need to work on your tension, you've got to hold it a certain way and make sure it's loose. Well, she'd be glad to know I did it in the end with YouTube and a lot of video watching. I got there, and I think she'd be proud.
What is the difference?
Right. What's up?
I can't really see a difference in this diamond and this diamond.
What, the 413 and the...
That's this one. That's that one.
You got greens in there as well. I don't know. I suppose it depends which supplier they came from. So yeah, I've had to restart my blanket, which totally bummed me out at first. I'm over it now. I was going to get that out until I realised I haven't done a video today yet and I need to get it done. So far this week I still haven't touched my Once Upon a Fairy Tale. It's going to get to the point where I force myself to get it out, because not that that's a bad thing. I don't mean it like I really don't want to get it out and I'm forcing myself. What it is that it's such a big project and I have to get myself comfortable. I have to get it all set up on my lap so that the frame's angled right, and you know, and it's just, it can be a bit of a nightmare sitting down with it. But the whole point of, if I force myself, once I'm sat down with it and I do a few stitches, I'm away and I don't want to put it down. So hence the forcing myself to sit down with it, because then once I'm in it, I'm in it. Oh, I meant to miss that one. Slide across. I'm sorry if my arms are in the way, guys. It took me 15 minutes just to get the camera set up to try and get the right angle so that Ellie could do hers and I could do mine at the same time, and you guys can see them both, which you still can, but my arm kind of gets in the way while I'm, oh, not as much as that, another gnat. Missing. We've been sitting here this morning and the gnats is so frustrating. I mean, we don't have those things you put up at the windows. Oh, you don't even put them up at the windows, but they're at the windows, aren't they? Screens, that's the word. We don't have them the screens. We don't have them. So the gnats and the flies are everywhere. And it's annoying. And if one flies past me, I'm pretty quick and I can catch it in my hand. I got one just before we put the camera on. Missed two. Helps if I pick up a diamond. Me and Ellie haven't actually touched these for quite some time. I have a feeling though we might be picking them up a bit more often towards the end of this week. Ellie's nodding. You'll all see why on Friday during my flash tube. We've been sent a lovely gift, some friend mail, and when I was cleaning and putting away the shopping, the postman came and I didn't give it a thought. I quickly whipped him open after cleaning it over, and then I realised it was the friend mail. So I took them out the envelope, but I haven't opened them properly. I will open them on Friday. So excited. I know Ellie is.
Space left.
You got no space. So, what have you guys got going on? What have you been up to? Oh, I shouldn't have done them two. That one. Lots of crafting, I hope. We try to. I think the other day, though, me and Ellie both sort of sat on the settee and neither one of us could decide what to do. Now, normally we sit and craft every afternoon together. This last week or so, Ellie's kind of tapered off a little bit. I don't know if she just had enough for a while. So I think it was like 3:30, 4 o'clock by the time we actually did sit down and do something. But then just as you get into it, Mama's got to get up to cook tea, so... What?
That's a lot of 413.
The hearts. I think you got enough to fill that one. So what are you doing after this then, Ellie? Stitching? Or don't you know? She has actually made a start on her new one. She's got her grey fabric. And she's doing the, I can't even think the name of it now.
Gloomy House.
Gloomy House, yeah, that was it. She came to me the other night after she finished for the evening, and then she counts her stitches and like keeps a record of how many stitches she's done. She went and gave me the fabric, said, "Can you count? I've tried twice, but Riley keeps talking to me." So I took it off and I sat there counting. And you know when you look at something and you think something doesn't look quite right here, but I dismissed it, counted her stitches and whatever. And then the next day, I believe it was yesterday, she came and she said, "Is this 2 strands, Mum?" Yeah. And then I looked a little closer. "No, Ellie, that's 4. How have I done that?" she said. Because what she'd done was she'd pulled off 2 noisy dogs. That normally means my cat's coming across their back garden. Binks, he's so naughty. He teases the neighbours' dogs. Anyway, what she'd done is instead of pulling just 1 strand of thread off the skein of 6, she'd somehow pulled 2 and then folded them in half to end up with 4. And I just looked at it. That's what was wrong with it the day before when I was looking at it, and I couldn't quite put my finger on it. The stitches were bulky. And I mean bulky, and it's on 14 count, so there shouldn't be any bulk whatsoever. So I had to unpick a few stitches for her and set her straight.
I still haven't counted my stitches from yesterday.
Well, whatever's above 98, isn't it? "Oh yeah, weren't you going to?" And I said, "No, you need to go and see to this first."
Yeah.
And he never came back. I'm going to work all this. Wow. Work all this colour first. I know there's a lot, isn't there?
How many are you done?
I don't know. 284. Yeah, but mine are like, they're all this colour, so it's easy for me. What, you stitched 1? Not stitched 1. You can tell how much I've been in my cross stitch lately.
I've done 100.
Oh,
I've
okay.
done 1 square.
I got an orange. Where did it go?
So have I.
Not an orange drink, Ellie. There he is again. See? Nat. Don't know where he went. He's flying in front of my face. I swear he's teasing me.
Probably is.
Leave the last 2k. I'm not sure if I said last week, but we've had like more calls and whatever from both schools, and the secondary school has said, "You are aware of the procedures that are going to be against you now." My other half said, "Well, yes. I was aware when we decided to keep them off that you were probably going to fine us, you know." So that was that. And then the junior school are a little bit more sympathetic. And they've said, obviously we don't want to, you know, a fine to occur, but we kind of have no choice. After so long, we have to inform is it the school education board or something like that, that the kids have not been in school. She said, but we were just wondering, because we're trying to avoid you getting a fine, how about taking him out of school for a year until next September? But if I take him out, he may lose his place. So that's a bit of an issue. I don't want him to lose his place. Oops. Well, they're going to send us the forms anyway to do that, just in case. But I don't want to have to go down that road with the secondary school, because I've just brought all of Ellie's uniform. And that's a lot of money to have wasted if they end up losing their place and going somewhere else.
Well,
so,
I already know where I'm going.
You are not going there. Don't get me wrong, guys, I'm not being harsh on her. There is a particular school near to us that was recently built 3 years ago, and it combined 2 schools. They knocked down the old one, hang on a minute. They knocked down 2 schools and they merged them into one big academy. Now, the Ofsted report for said school has never been good. If you've got a child who is really, really good, they get their head down, they get on with their schoolwork, and they don't have a silly head, then they'll be all right there.
Not me.
So Ellie, maybe she'd be all right there, but Tyler wouldn't. Tyler can be such an idiot sometimes.
Yep.
And I know for a fact he would be being punished all the time. Tyler can be an airhead when he wants to. But like I said, not only that, it was the Ofsted reports as well. They weren't good. So I said, not a chance for any of my kids going there. Now, the only reason Ellie's a little miffed over it is because most of her friends from the junior school went there.
My friend's lonely, okay?
She has this one particular friend, and he's really missing her. They were kind of best friends at the juniors, and they message each other back and forth now that she's got a phone. And he says no one talks to him, and it's so sad. And I feel for him, but I've got to do what's right by my kids, you know. And I've got to try and put them in the right place where I think they're going to flourish in their education and not...
Hamster's back.
Was he... Where did he get... How can you see him? It's over there. Darn it. He just flew right past me. Oh, I swear.
I swear.
Where did he go? That's a double one. That's no good.
You're trying to find him, aren't you?
Anyway, on a lighter note, something more cheerful. Took Binks back to the... Oh, nuts. Took Binks back to the vets just for his vaccinations and a check-up on his neck since the application of his mite treatment. His neck looks so much better. He still looks scrawny, don't get me wrong. You look from the back and you see he's not a small cat. And I don't mean he's fat, I mean he is a big built cat. So when you see him from behind, you can see this big body and this scrawny little neck because his fur hasn't properly grown back yet. It's not long enough. Bless him, he looks so funny. I pity anyone who sees him in the street. I feel sorry for him and he'll just look like a stray. But he's not. He's mine. Anyway, I was saying, the vets, sidetracked. They've said he's doing so much better. I did mention that he's still sort of not balding but thinning down by his tail. So I asked her about it, you know, just to have a check over. So she did. She said the mite treatment is working, but we think that he still needs a few more applications. And the thinning down by his tail, we think is the same thing. It's still linked to the mites. So, such a sensitive cat, my Binks. He's sensitive to flea bites. He's now sensitive to mites. He's been in the wars, man. He's 3 tomorrow, which will be today for you guys because I'm not uploading this until tomorrow morning. So he's 3 today. Time flies so fast. I remember bringing this 10-week-old little baby into my house and he hid.
And he blended in.
He did. He fell asleep on the settee and I had to warn everyone, for goodness sake, don't just sit down. Because you couldn't see him. He was curled up in a ball in the corner because I have a black leather settee. You can't see him. So we started, because I've got brown cushions on my sofa. So when he climbed up on the sofa, I put a cushion down. And you could see him then because he's lying on a brown cushion. I have to do the same for Luna as well. Not a very good accessory are black cats, just saying. Especially if you've got black furniture. But we love them to bits. But yeah, he cost me £75 at the vet's. I died of shock. Fortunately, when she brought him out, because we're not allowed in the vets at the minute, we have to stand outside, we have to ring them, let them know we're there, and they come out, pick up the animal off you, take him in, come back out, and, you know, la-di-da. So she came out, she said, I don't know if you were going to pay by card, but our card machine isn't working. I was like, oh, okay. She said, well, you've got to book him in for his booster vaccination on top of the one he's just had around the 7th of October. So if you ring up in a day or so to make that appointment, just pay over the phone. Rob did that, and it wasn't until he got off the phone he went, £75. Fortunately, that covers his booster vaccination in October and the worming mite treatment for his neck. So I can't complain really. And then we have Tyler's hamster, who is absolutely loving having an extra part to her house. I keep seeing her go through the tubes. She'll go in one side and out the other, back round, in one side and out the other. She's ace. I even caught her asleep in the tube once. I think she wore herself out. It's quite just funny. Too tired to move. I know. I got her out the other night and stuck her on the bed with me. She has a little run around. And Ellie and Riley, if she goes too far, will pick her back up and bring her back. And she kept climbing onto my lap. And then she'd run across my lap to the other side, hoping to get down off the bed. I catch her every time and put her back. But we noticed she does this little thing and we were in hysterics, right? I've never seen a hamster do it before. But when she's in her Speedy Gonzales mode, I tell you, that hamster can move. But when she's in that mode and she's running, she puts her ears down. She tucks her ears flat against her back, and it's hilarious. She does it every time she speeds. And we kept she kept running across my lap. I'd pick her up and put her back to the other side just to watch her do it again. Ellie and Riley were in hysterics, and I swear it was so funny. She's so cute. Oh dear. Cute but clever, because she figured out how to get out of her hamster balls. So we don't use them anymore. Apart from when Tyler's taking the cage apart and he's got to clean it and stuff, he will put her in it for a short amount of time. He won't leave her in it because when she's had enough, she will then not dig her way out. She can't dig her way out of her ball.
She's smart.
She opens the ball and gets out when she's had enough. So he only uses it for when he quickly cleans her cage out and changes the sawdust and what have you. Oh wow, we're at half an hour already. I think I've been talking too much today.
That's every day.
What do you mean that's every day? Don't whisper, I can hear you. One there. Oh, I hate it when they get spread like this because then I lose focus. Two there. So that's that one, and that one.
Mark it. Sit here a little bit longer.
Do you know, me personally, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have a lot of what we call blonde moments. Any blonde people, please don't take offence. Nothing is meant by that. It just means I have moments where I'm just thick sometimes. Oh no, messed up already. 1, 2.
Very smart. And you figured it out.
Okay, I've got the right amount of squares, so why is that 2, 3, 4? What am I doing wrong? Nope, even I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, next one. Have I marked the square wrong there?
Probably.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, I haven't, so why is it wrong?
I don't know.
Hey. Okay, bear with me, guys. Oh, it's me being thick. Told you. Blonde moments. Tell you what, I take it back. We'll call it senior moments. Senior, not senior. Senior. Anyway, I was saying. And the other day, I was using Pattern Keeper, and I was just bombing out a load of 310 on Riley's Avengers game in the sink. I was bombing out a load of 310, like I was saying, on Riley's Avengers cross stitch. So I finished the 939, put it away, and I got out the 310. Why is that sliding everywhere? There's something on the...
Speaking of 310.
Anyway, so I did a whole square because it was all full of 310, and I tried to mark it off. It wouldn't mark off, and I'm like, but I'm touching it. And if I pressed and held, it gave me the option to highlight all the squares in that square, but it wouldn't let me highlight just some. And I spent ages, and I mean ages, you know, wondering what the blinking heck I'd done wrong. But you know what, perhaps my tablet's having a bout of diarrhea. I'll turn it off and I'll turn it back on. Now, Pattern Keeper is really, really good because if you switch it off and come back on it the next day, it remembers exactly where you were on the pattern, which bit you were looking at, and it takes you straight back there. So I tried again to mark off the 310 stitches. I was having none of it. It turned out right. This is how thick I was yesterday. I got the search button. I'd got 939 highlighted. No wonder it wouldn't mark the 310s because 939 was highlighted. And I wouldn't mind, but Pattern Keeper even has now, when you shrink the schematic bar with your numbers all on it, it stays at the top of the right hand corner of the screen now, what number you're on. And it said 939. So, thick or what?
Yeah.
Hey. Cheek. 2, 3, 4.
It's fine. I do it all the time.
Yeah, so like I said, I have bad moments sometimes. At least I learn from them.
I've got too many trays.
Too many trays. There's no such thing as too many trays. In use there is.
Yeah. I've only got 4 left.
Ooh, 1. I've got some.
Oh, I've got more.
2. What's that?
Got 8 left.
Okay.
Oh, good.
I've got more if necessary. There, that's that one. Mark it. Down there. Diagonal again. And then 2 in the middle. 1, 2. That's those done. Next square. This is the last square with these in.
Surrounded in trays.
That's the bonus, isn't it? Oh, I've got more washing to peg out now. And just my luck, it will be for it to rain. As soon as I put the washing out, it's done that on me a few times.
I
don't think it's supposed to rain, but that's just how my luck goes. How sad is that, right? My kids know the tune to the washing machine. What's even sadder is that I know it as well. I just haven't figured out how you turn it off yet. Yes, you can turn it off.
It's really good.
It is good. Right, that's that number finished for this row anyway. I think. Yep.
I can't see.
38.
Wow,
I am going
8
to.
minutes.
I know. I'm going to let you guys go. We've had a good chat. Oops, I'm flicking diamonds everywhere.
Wait.
Wait. What are we waiting for?
That's not supposed to be there. I got it. I have to put in my last diamond.
Get out. Thank you.
What's that? Okay, 1 second.
I need to work on this more
Put
often.
this in. Carry on with it then.
Why? Because you want to carry on. You actually enjoying it for a change?
There you go. I finished. 200. 2 squares.
She just looked at me and went, "You've still done more."
You always do.
Only because I've only had one colour. I haven't been chopping and changing like you have. Radio, guys. Oh my god, I'm so hot. I will leave you guys in peace. I'm probably going to go and do some stitching now.
Same.
So is Ellie. Thank you so much to everyone who watches my videos. We really, really appreciate it. Me and Ellie both go through the comments. I kind of feel like she's half the channel now. yeah, so thank you to everyone who watches my videos. It means so much. And everyone who leaves me a comment. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Hope you get lots done. I'm trying. Stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you on Friday. Bye, guys.